Mate, it's just weird that the cameras, like, I don't know. I feel like there was more cables before.
Yeah, there was. It's because I've got rid of all the shit now, right?
Yeah, it's mad,
It's a sleeker setup, I think.
Sleek.
Little train coming past, mate. Podcast. We're here. We're live.
Are we?
We are live.
I didn't even get a drink, bro.
Now. See, I knew you'd say that.
Oh.
So I got you a little something.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, this is exciting. This is nice.
Blue or red?
Oh, I like blue. Hey. I mean, I'll have red if you want blue.
No, it's all good. Basically, I've obviously I've got a range / Iceland across the road, and I always see these, and they're like a summertime drink for me. Yeah, and I was driving home, and I was thinking, I need to share this experience with Manny. So up to you. I've got strawberry lemonade or ocean blue lemonade. One's blueberry, one's strawberry, basically.
Like my first Pokemon game, I'm going to go blue.
Yeah, man, you're going
blue. Pokemon blue. Thank you so much. Mate, that's actually awesome.
Shake it, because it's bits. It's like proper lemonade and that. Yeah. Give it a little... How are you anyway? You okay?
Hey, I'm all right. I'm okay. I'm not sleeping well.
You're not? Is it you just worried?
Well. No, not at all. I'm just not sleeping well. Do you remember...
Heat or...
No, I don't know what it is. Do you remember, like, back in the day, my sleep was real bad, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So wait, is it not fizzy?
No, it's not fizzy. You've always had, like, I wouldn't say bad sleep, but you've never really had, like, a good sleep routine, right?
Oh, mate, blue is good.
Yeah. Cheers, bro.
Mate, that's lovely. Thank you so much.
It's refreshing, right? He likes those drinks, guys.
So, mate, that's made me lightheaded doing that. My sleep every now and then is real wank.
Yeah.
Oh, so fucking swore. Sorry.
It's off to a good start.
Sorry, everyone. Sorry, Mum. My sleep is usually not as good as I would like sometimes. I feel like I go through like waves of it, where sometimes like it's 9 o'clock and I need to go to bed, and other times, But it's not that I can't get to sleep; it's that I'm down for 2 hours and then I'm up, and when I'm awake,
so like you go through like a whole sleep cycle, and then you're just like, right, I'm awake now, buzzing.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. Then obviously it gets to like sort of 2 p.m. in the afternoon, and I'm like, I need to sleep. Yeah, it's mad. But then why can't we do that?
Yeah, it's the Spanish. Man. It's the Spanish thing. You want a little siesta,
mate. I'm a grown person. If I want to sleep at 2 p.m., I'll sleep at 2 p.m.
But you won't though, because we work weird jobs that say we can't do that.
I've got to stay at work, and I do like my mortgage. I do. Yeah, I like my house.
You don't like your mortgage. You like your house.
I like paying my mortgage.
Isn't that such a weird concept though? It's like, no, everyone else works 9 to 5, so we must work 9 to 5. Like I know there's a lot of jobs that don't involve being doing 9 to 5, but for a majority of like office work, for example, it is 9 to 5. I just think if the whole world was a little bit more flexible, then everyone would be a little bit more happier.
Don't you, or has it any employer that you've been involved with, have they ever talked about like 4-day weeks? Is this something that your work talked about recently?
My work's going through a thing at the moment that they've actually gone through, and actually it's not because of like employee happiness. It's mainly, well, might be, but from how I see it, it's because there's too many people turning up to like work, and so there's not enough car parking spaces. The warehouse is too full. To increase capacity so they can hire more people, they're basically, for people in the warehouse, they're going to do basically 12-hour days. They get an hour's lunch break, but only like 3 days a week or something.
Oh wow.
So they'll get like 3 on, like a few off, and I personally would do that. I'm at work. I've driven to work. Yeah. I'm there. I'll have an hour's lunch break, and I'll just work an hour in the morning or a couple of hours early in the morning, a couple of hours later at night. Doesn't bother me because I know that I'm getting like so many more days off. But yeah, 4-day week would be brilliant.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how close we are to that, as like that would end up being the norm anywhere. Yeah. But as I say, or I get what you say. Sorry, that every employer is different and depends what because I grew up in hospitality, I know that you're never going to get that, like, and I never had, when I was working in hospitality, I never had that sort of Friday feeling. I never had like a weekend thing because I worked at the weekends. I took my days off were usually in the week because it was quieter. But now that I'm office based and stuff, to be perfectly honest, I'm quite happy with what I'm doing. But I do look at like work-life balance around like with people around me and stuff like that. And of course, maybe my feeling will change when like I've got a young family and stuff. But yeah, I do understand why people are talking about it though.
Yeah.
Doing like going down to 4-day weeks, making up your week time inside less days, increasing hours, but less days, giving people an opportunity to not be out of their house for so long.
I think the problem is like a lot of businesses are understaffed.
Mm.
The issue you've got is, let's say, I'm going to take my work, for example, right? We have a couple of IT people that help. We've got a big IT group at group level.
Yeah.
But they're obviously only available by call and by Teams or whatever. Mm. But if something physical needed doing, like, the printer's jammed or my monitor has stopped working, like you can't fix that over a call.
Sure.
So there needs to be people in the office. Now, if we went to a 4-day week, you would argue and say, well, actually, we shouldn't do it so that... You okay, mate? I've killed him off with that drink. You okay?
Yeah. Do you ever do
good.
this when you're choking? Just
No.
put your arms in the air?
No, what, you on a roller coaster of death? Or
Yep. No, it totally works.
Does it? I'm going to try that next time,
There's
dude.
something about if something's gone down the wrong hole or whatever, just put your arms in the air like this. And have you seen that I've immediately stopped choking?
Yeah, but I don't know if you were
was.
done coughing and then put your hands up in the air.
No,
Like,
if I was like
that doesn't
choking on something.
count. Okay, fair. All
What
right.
if I'd had just
Well,
a wee...
next time, I'm not going to give you the Heimlich. I'm just
What about
gonna watch
like if
it.
I just had my birthday cake and I just swallowed a candle?
I don't think putting your hands up in the air is going to help you in that
Do you think I could do
situation.
this for the rest of the pod?
No.
No.
Have you seen that guy who's had his hands up for like 70 odd years?
Is that actually a thing? Though?
Yeah, man. He's just got like
It
one
can't
arm
be a
up in the
thing.
air and one of them's it's just a stick. All the blood's
Wow.
gone. It's
Yeah,
basically
all the
like a dead bit of...
Wow. Yeah, that's
Bone.
a point as well. So if all the blood is gone, how does he keep his arm up?
It's stuck there now.
It's just stuck
Yeah,
there.
it's
like
like
he's got
rigor
some sort of-
mortis going on,
literally in his shoulder.
Yeah.
All of his shoulder muscles have just gone, nope, this is life now.
dude. Yeah. You can put them down now.
He's like always just constantly like trying to get someone's attention.
For the rest of the podcast.
Hey, what's me?
Yeah, everyone's going, you in the back, and he's going, no, I don't think you understand. I can't put my arm down.
Yeah.
If I do, my arm will actually fall off, like when it gets to autumn and you tread on a leaf and it makes that
Yeah,
crunching
it just
sound.
crunch, yeah.
That's what's going to happen with his arm if someone tries to put it down.
There's like a bird that just attaches to his arm, just lands on his little arm, just makes a little nest, and he's, oh no, nest on my middle finger. And he's just,
Yeah, his arm is like mummified, right?
Wow.
Like, that's crazy.
yeah. I want to put them down now.
Put them down then.
Oh,
Ooh,
mate, I did a shoulder
feel
workout.
good. Did you?
Yeah, so that
I
feels
did.
juicy.
I did like chest and shoulders.
Did you?
Yesterday?
How you feeling?
I'm feeling it here. Like across here, it feels tight.
Good.
Good tight though.
Good tight. Good
Yeah.
tight. Nice.
Tight is good.
Stop it. Stop it.
4-day week anyway.
4-day week.
What I was saying is that you would have to have like people in on a Friday still. Like you couldn't just say, right, everyone's now going to do Monday to Thursday.
Yeah.
Because it would only work if the whole of the world did Monday to Thursday.
Yes.
If people are still working Friday, delivery drivers, whatever, you got to be there, right?
Yeah.
So you would arguably have to go, right, well, some weeks you work Monday to Thursday, other weeks you work Tuesday to Friday. Like you kind of mash it up a bit, right? Now, if you're IT and only have a small IT team, like we've got at work, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Because if you're not there on a Friday and something goes wrong, guess what?
Yeah.
You're getting a call.
Yeah, you're coming in.
It don't stop. You're coming in.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know how to work that out, whether or not you have to have more resource and split that across. But I honestly think it would be way healthier for people. And there was I forget the guy's name now, but he's a really clever like marketing guy. And he does a lot of talks. I'll remember in a bit, but I see him a lot on like TikTok. I've watched his TED Talks and all that. And he was saying that actually in 90% of businesses, if you ask each year, instead of saying like, oh, we're giving you a pay rise in line with inflation, if you said, well, would you rather take an extra day's holiday, but you don't get a pay rise, 90% of people would take the extra day.
Wow. Interesting.
So, and to be fair, I probably would too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I think if you're getting paid what you think you're worth,
Yeah.
then what does getting more money really give you?
Yeah. Yeah, whereas if you're effectively like, well, I'm working less days.
Yeah.
I've stayed on the wage, but that gives me greater that day that I've gained. I can do what I want with that time.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, for me, I'm all about the Benjamins. I want that money. Give me all the money.
Give me the money. But what's the point in having money if you got no time to spend it, bro?
Mate, I can spend it online.
Okay.
Yeah, spend it online.
But doing what? Online? Spend it online doing
gambling.
What? Okay. We don't promote gambling,
No,
guys.
we don't promote gambling. I've never gambled.
No, I've
I'm
gambled
not-
like once or twice, but it just doesn't appeal to me. I
I'm
don't
not
see how
like
people can
a-
get sucked into that. They're idiots.
I do like when there's the World Cup and the Euros. I always go into the pool. So like we
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So we all put money up, and then we pick out like what we're gonna x amount of countries. We usually get more than one, and then whoever wins gets.
That's
the,
not real
gets the
gambling,
spoils.
though, is it?
I don't really think it's gambling. I've never like bet on a horse. I've never bet on Bet365 or whatever.
I went to the horse
never
racing
done
for
it.
the first time last year.
Mhm.
As a vegetarian, I feel like I shouldn't. Like,
I feel like you shouldn't.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't, I don't. If I'm honest,
Yeah,
when I
yeah.
was there, I did feel a bit weird about it. I was
Yeah.
like, all these people like shouting and placing bets and all that stuff, and like, what does the horse really gain? Like,
Yeah, it's just
But besides that, I just did not see any point in betting.
no.
I was like, that does not bring me any joy, any thrill whatsoever.
Yeah, I've been to one of those like sort of fake casino setup things where
Yeah,
like,
they're
you're-
fun though.
It's
You're gambling
fun,
for fun.
But even that, if I'm honest, I think what it is for me, and I've probably mentioned this on this pod before, that my personality, it wouldn't go well.
Yeah,
I would.
that's true. That is true.
I would end up either winning and being like, I'm the king of the world, I'm invincible, and then
Yeah.
I would just
Yeah,
everything I've got. But I know that I would become obsessive. It would be I think I don't consider myself to have an addictive personality because I'm not addicted to things.
Mm-hmm.
As far as I'm aware, I don't have an unhealthy relationship.
You're addicted
with
to the Benjamins.
What a Benjamin! No, I don't feel like I do, but I feel like I could.
Yeah. You're susceptible to it.
Yeah.
But that's good that you recognise that because you can
think
avoid
so.
certain situations.
Yeah,
right?
I don't want to be a killjoy. I don't want people to like, So if you were like, oh, come to the horse, racing or whatever, I'd probably be like, I don't particularly want to, but I wouldn't necessarily miss out on something to do it.
Yeah,
But
social event.
I probably
isn't it?
wouldn't partake. I think that's the best thing that I can do. And we've I'm sure we've talked about this as well. Sometimes I'll go to the pub. I won't order a beer.
Yep.
Sometimes I do. Sometimes that's what I want. Other times I'm like, nah, I don't have to. I know that there's a hell of a lot of alcohol behind that bar. I don't want any of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Well, I've done the non-drinking. I when I was like 22, I think.
That was some time ago.
Thanks, mate. I did no drink for like 10 months.
Yeah,
I
it's
just
amazing.
I just didn't drink. And like you get those snobs who like purposely don't drink forever because they feel like it makes them better than everyone else. But honestly, when I didn't drink, and again, it's like everything in moderation.
Yeah.
I felt like there was other stuff I wanted to do, and I managed to do that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then the first time I did have a beer after all of that length of time, I enjoyed it so much more because
Yes.
I felt like, not that you deserve it because that's a weird thing, but
Yeah.
like I'd gone on holiday, I was there by a pool with my mate, and I was like, I'm gonna have a beer.
Yeah, it's nice.
First beer in 10 months.
Mate, that's awesome. Yeah, no, it's cool. As we were talking about this when I was saying about like the 24-hour fast and things like that.
Yeah.
A lot of the things that I do that are similar to that, when I've had periods of my life where I've not had a drink, it's because I want to challenge.
It's the
my-
mental.
Yeah,
I feel
it's
like.
my own head of, can I just not do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Especially when we live in a society here in the UK anywhere where there's pubs everywhere.
Yeah.
You can always get a beer anywhere.
I feel like
more or less.
And maybe I was a bit rude by saying people who purposely don't drink are snobbish, but there are people like that, and of course there are people who just don't want to drink because they don't find any appeal in it, just like we don't find appeal in gambling. But I do feel like if you don't drink alcohol in the UK, you can feel kind of ostracized.
Yes.
Because you go to, let's say, for example, there was a group of us going out to a bar on a night out, whatever, and there's someone who doesn't drink. It's very hard to stand there, one, with a drink that looks like it's non-alcoholic. Like if you stand there with a pint of Coke, people know, because you don't get a pint of Coke with alcohol in it. But the other thing is like other people coming up to you and being, you know, saying, "Oh, why are you not drinking, mate?"
Me, I've had this before where I've been in it was a work thing. I wasn't drinking or whatever, and someone literally said to me, "Oh, are you on medication?"
Yeah.
I was like, "What?"
No, I'm just not drinking.
No,
What's
it's
your
like,
problem?
no, I don't fancy it. And they were like, "Oh, you know, you've come to a pub, yeah?" I was like,
Yeah.
"Yeah, you know, they serve loads of drinks.
Yeah.
They're not all alcoholic." Don't have anything like any affliction to alcohol or gambling or anything like that.
Yeah.
But gambling, I don't know. I feel like I would very quickly be like, "Oh, I'm in it to win it."
Well, you're not in it to lose it, are you? Some people are just in for the fun of like the risk.
Yes.
You know, the risk and the adrenaline.
Yeah.
I get it. I do get it. I understand.
You're not like an adrenaline junkie though, are you?
No, not really. No, it gives me stomach ache. I'll be honest.
Achy.
Funnily enough,
Yeah.
What did you actually want to talk about on this episode? Was it because this is episode 13?
Yes.
V2.
You're gonna just have to bear with me because I've got pins and needles.
Oh, he's got pins and needles, guys.
How do you get rid of pins and needles? Are you meant to move or not move?
I think you're meant to move. It's to do with the blood flow being limited in your leg, right? So the blood's being restored to your leg. You're feeling very musical today, Manny.
I am actually. I've had loads of different songs in my head. We were talking before we started recording about Governor's Luck, and we were playing some of the old Governor's Luck tracks.
For those of you who don't know, the Governor...
how do you not know? How do you not know now? Huh?
Governor's Luck is the band that we were in from maybe the year 2010
Yeah, I don't know how old
to
we were.
2014, 2015. And if you can see, I'm not sure if you can, I mean, you might be able to on the wide, but there's a drum skin up there which was designed by Denny. And that was the logo that we have for Governor's Luck, wasn't it? On the kick drum.
It was cool, actually. Good logo. Good band.
Yeah,
good band. Good music.
Good music.
I wrote it. I was and then I had another song in my head earlier, and now I'm forgetting what it was. There was this morning in the shower I was singing Mayday Parade, and then there was like another song that was in my head earlier. It's been in my head all day, and now I can't remember what it is.
I tend to wake up with songs already in my head, like someone's loaded the CD in the back of my head and then hit play, and I've just woken up.
So do you sing it? Do you sing in the shower or in the car or anything?
Yeah, I'll be honest. The only time I sing is in the car.
Is in the car.
Like I know I belt it out.
Yes, good.
Yeah.
But do you have before you've got in your car?
Yep.
Is there like music in your head that you're like, now I need to listen to that, or what?
Well, there was this morning. I had one particular song in my head, and it was "Sultans of Swing" by Dire Straits.
Right. Okay.
And yeah, I've got a speaker in the bathroom, and I normally will put music on, but I forgot this morning.
Yeah.
So all I had, because normally I'd put the song that I hear when I wake up on while I'm in the shower, and then it's out of my head.
Yeah.
But I didn't. So it was in my head for the whole shower, bro.
Mate, but I like that, and I wonder how that happens. How we've we've woken up and there's
subconscious.
As I say, there was Mayday Parade in my head, and to be honest, because they're one of those emo bands, I never remember the name of the song. I just remember how the chorus goes. And then it was Cold, Chris Stapleton's Cold. Do you know that song?
No.
Why you gotta be so cold?
Oh, I recognise it, but yeah.
Like a knife.
Oh, he's getting it.
No, anyway. What were we actually going to talk about? Oh, so this is episode 13. Holy Christ, we've done 13 episodes.
13 episodes.
Listen, we're still here. People didn't think it'd happen. We're still here.
Whoever doubted us.
Me. Episode 13. So I wanted to talk to you about superstitions.
Yes.
Because...
But let's just clarify.
You sort of did the little peeky behind the curtain earlier because you've already called this V2.
Yeah. So what actually happened, just for viewers, listeners?
Tell the people.
We tried to record an episode last week with Denny, our good friend Denny, and it was about superstitions. It was episode 13. And there was a few technical complications, a few technical issues. So rather than put out a shit episode for you, we've ironed out the issues. As you can see, we've got new mic arms. We've got a new setup behind here as well. And now we are going to do another episode with Denny, but work out, the best way for guests to come on. And it's going to be a lot smoother. But yeah, I thought we could do, the episode that we did last week, but we'll just talk about it again because there's some interesting pieces.
We had a really good chat with Denny. Now, to be honest, I mean, people that watch this podcast, they know now that we're never on topic, are we? Are you?
Sorry, mate.
You were shaking my mic like something else, boy.
It says shake well.
It does shake, and you have shaken well.
I think I'm shaking.
You're
well.
a good shaker,
Thanks,
actually. Man. Stop it, for goodness sake. People know what we're like on this podcast. We are not. We don't stay on topic. We let this go here, there, and everywhere. And then when you put Denny right in the room with us as well,
bloody hell,
we are so off topic. But it was a really good conversation that we can't replicate. We won't try and replicate it. So let's do what we want to do.
Yeah.
And then we'll just come back to Denny. Denny will come back. He's going to be the debut guest of the Sour Cherries podcast. Isn't he a freaking lucky boy? Isn't he?
He's a lucky boy.
We're lucky to have him. I love him. So Superstitions. Now, episode 13, obviously associated with Friday 13th, which here in our culture is considered unlucky. Yeah. Did you know, for example, there are certain restaurants that you will go to. This is actually all over the world. This isn't here in the UK either. But there'll be certain buildings and hospitals as well that, for example, restaurants won't have a table 13. Buildings won't have a floor 13.
No.
What? And hospitals won't have a ward 13. Because if you sit at table 13, there's a negative connotation in your brain already about your experience.
It's like the whole anti-manifesting. You're manifesting bad energy.
The idea of being in a building and then you having to get into the lift and pressing floor 13 and going, oh god. Like there is a dread that comes over certain people because they associate it with being of bad luck, this number 13.
That's interesting. I never really thought about that, to be honest. And now I am thinking about it. I don't think I've ever been at a restaurant or ordered like food on an app, like when you're sitting at a restaurant, and typed in, "Oh, I'm at table 13."
Yeah, yeah. Well, when you're out and about in the wild, have a little look. Just see if the restaurant, for example, or the building you're in, does it have a floor 13? Do you have a room 13 in a hotel? It's interesting because I think more often you will find that people have just decided, don't bother with it, because you will get some superstition person that goes into hotel room number 13 and they have a terrible experience. Yeah. Because in their mind, they've already associated that number 13
with having a bad time.
So to flip it though, because I don't think everything's all bad.
Well, I actually wanted to ask you a question.
Oh, cut me freaking off then, boy.
Because you were just about to move on. No, and I don't want you to move on.
Okay.
Right?
Sorry.
What are your... and it's a question to you, brother.
Yeah.
What do you personally, what do you think about the number 13? I like this, by the way. There's no thing. I can point at you now, brother.
Yeah, I feel like I'm going to get one of them in my eye.
What do you think of the number 13?
I don't have
Are you bad with it? Are you good with it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think I have any negative connotations with the number 13.
It's good, because my birthday's on the 13th, and I was setting you up there for something rotten.
I was going to bring that up. I knew that your birthday's... because my birthday's the 12th. So every now and then... and it did happen, I think it was last year. I've had my... so, yeah, it was last year. My birthday, 12th, it was a Thursday. Chloe and I stayed overnight somewhere on the 12th and then into Friday the 13th. Now, here's the story.
Get that finger away from me, bro.
There's nothing between us. Let's just hold hands for the entire pod. and in the air. Watch all the birds land on our eye. Anyway, so Friday 13th, we wake up. We were staying in somewhere that was like, it was in the country. I'll be honest, I don't really know where we were. Chloe just drove me there. Very nice time, all good. Woke up Friday 13th, nail in the tyre. And we were and I promise you, middle of nowhere. I've got no idea where we are. we were in Chloe's car. I was like, do you have like breakdown cover? She was like, yeah, no idea. I was like, right, this is bad.
Brilliant.
Do you know anyone that lives near here? What are we doing? No idea. Okay.
Ooh.
Now we're in the middle of a field because it was like a farmhouse thing. I was like, what genuinely do you want to do? Do you want to try and at least get us on the road so that if we need a breakdown service, we can at least explain what road we're on? Like, I don't know. Should we stay here? Do you know the people that live in this farm? I didn't. I was so scared. So
it wasn't like a hotel or anything?
No. Now, all good. All ended up okay. No problem. We got it all fixed. Got it over to a garage. Garage just repaired the tyre. It was all good. But I was on the way to get a tattoo because you're part of tattoo culture. Friday 13th tattoos. Like, I've always wanted a 13 tattoo.
Yeah.
On Friday 13th.
Did you get one?
Well, no. But here is what I got. I don't know if I can even show this to all the people.
You're going to have to send a picture.
I'll have to take a picture. I literally have a wee dude. When I got there, obviously it's all flash.
Yeah.
So Nick Latty, thank you so much, my dude. I love getting tattooed by Nick over at Humi Tattoo Parlour. He did me, this wee little dude, and I'll have to send a picture. It's a man with a nail through him, and it just says, "That's life."
That is so good,
and
man.
As soon as we got there, and we're looking at and Chloe had never come in before, so Chloe's with me, and as soon as we're looking at the flash book, I was like, well, I have to get that.
Yeah.
It literally...
so he didn't design it for you, you just saw it in the book.
That was in his flash sheet for the day.
Oh, no,
just a guy with
crazy.
a nail through him that says, "That's life." And I was like, that's life, baby. That's life.
That's weird.
So, no, I don't have any
weird.
problem with 13 and actually have like a nice... cool, funny-ish story for Friday 13. What about you? I know your birthday is.
I think the way the world works is if you have something in your subconscious, you notice it more, right?
Of course.
So, the fact that something bad happened to you on Friday the 13th, there's stuff that, there's bad stuff that probably has happened to you on all sorts of days, but you particularly remember that one because of the connotation of Friday the 13th.
Absolutely.
And now you've got a mark on you forever to remind you of that story, which is awesome, by the way. I love that.
Yeah.
Because you get to tell the story.
Yeah,
right?
It's cool.
But there's one particular memory, and I did speak about this last week, but I'll regurgitate it. When I was a young boy, I got a watch for my birthday.
bin.
It was a Batman watch.
Yeah.
It was sick. The sickest watch, right? Yeah.
Fucking love Batman.
And then I can't remember whether it was like a year later when I was wearing this watch or a month later where there was a Friday the 13th. And I go into school and my watch just stops working. Like really close to midday on that Friday the 13th.
On Friday 13th.
And I just really remember thinking, Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
like that was, yeah. Like that was,
yeah. My watch has stopped. Now my heart will stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just it's so weird that I remember that from, and I was probably only, I wasn't even I'm not talking like high school, dude. I'm talking like junior school.
Yeah. Well, you had a Batman watch, dude.
Yeah.
Like
I went to high school.
You weren't
bro.
17.
It was last year.
Sorry, mate.
I must have been 7 or 8 with a Batman watch, and just I remember looking at this watch going, my watch has stopped, and it was Friday the 13th near midday, and I was like, that's crazy.
So do you consider yourself a superstitious person in general?
I want to say no, but then if people ask me about like random superstitions, I'll be like, yeah, I wouldn't do that.
You wouldn't do
like
that?
Just to reel a couple off, like walking under a ladder. You know, like when a signpost for a road sign or something is on the road and it's got the 2 poles. And
yes, you're not going to walk.
I don't walk under that either.
Right.
And if I do, I walk backwards through it.
Oh, okay, that's weird.
Not that bothered about 3 drains, but if I remember, I'll skip the 3rd drain.
Hold on.
Yeah.
So, I know exactly what you're talking about because I always imagine, because I'm a bit of a weirdo, that it's like a magic portal and it'll take me somewhere else. But you're talking about the road signs that, it's 2 little things. Now, okay, I can understand you walking around it, not walking through it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just more whimsical than you, so I just want it to be like a platform, like 9 3/4 thing where I end up somewhere else.
Yeah.
So... But what you're saying is you wouldn't, if you can't go around it.
I walk backwards.
You walk.
I turn around.
Backwards.
And go backwards.
And you moonwalk
Yep.
through the fucking town, and you think that's more sound than just walking underneath it normally or going round it.
Yeah, but I'm not superstitious.
I think that's
don't know,
superstitious, dude.
Yeah.
But the 3 drains thing is a weird one, is a strange one. People have physically pushed me, like, whilst
that's
I'm
messed up.
walking. They're like, 3 drains. I'm like, yeah, all right, you just pushed me into traffic, dude.
Yeah.
There was 3 cyclists there. It's a near miss, dude. What is the 3 drains thing?
Do you think it's something like in the olden days, like the 3rd drain was the one they used to lift up all the time to get access, so that it became wobbly, so you would never tread on the 3rd one,
Mate, I've
or
got
something like that.
idea.
Man.
I don't know where any of these come from. I do have a game.
Okay, go on, hit me with the game.
So basically,
I hope the podcast don't pick that up.
Now it just looks weird that we've had this weird stuff. Mate, just make sure you put your initials on that chair. I don't want to sit on that one. So basically, I was looking at superstitions from around the world because I was conscious that potentially, when we were chatting about this last week, some people might not actually know what on earth we're talking about because maybe they're in a country where they're like, what's a superstition? I don't know what that means. I don't really know even how to describe it in words other than it's just believing in a ritual is going to give you bad karma or something if you purposely
if you perform that action or do the thing, then you will receive bad luck.
Yeah,
or
there's
something
a consequence
bad
relating to
correct.
bad luck.
Yeah,
Absolutely. So, for example, I know we've already done a couple, but walking under a ladder is considered bad luck. If you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck.
Yeah.
It's things like that. But some of them, of course, are positive. So, for example, like if you find a penny and you pick it up,
yeah, I didn't really think of that.
then all day you'll have good luck. So
pass it to a friend, and your luck will never end.
Like some of these are nice positive ones, but I thought it would be interesting to look up some superstitions from around the world. Now, I've purposely picked some that I don't think you're going to know.
Okay.
And I want you to tell me, I'm going to tell you what the superstition is, but I'm not going to tell you if it's good or bad luck. I want you to decide. And I want you to tell me.
Hit me.
So, I'm going to start with one that I don't think you're going to know. Brazil, okay? In Brazil, leaving your wallet or purse on the ground. Do you think that brings good fortune or bad fortune?
The hell?
Yeah.
Well, you've left your wallet on the ground, so bad luck.
Ding, ding, ding. Placing your wallet or purse on the ground in Brazil is said to bring bad financial luck.
Yeah.
You understand the game?
Yeah, I get it, yeah.
Right. Let's go for some fucking weird one then.
All right, go on then.
Sorry, Serbia. Spilling water behind someone.
Spilling water behind someone.
Yes, in Serbia, spilling water behind someone. Do you think that is good luck or bad luck?
I wanted to say bad luck because I was like, oh, you've spilled water. But there could be some like faith connotation with like holy water or like the spillage or something, exorcism or something.
Okay.
So I'll go good.
You're going to go good fortune. Very, very good. It is common Serbian superstition to believe that spilling water behind someone will bring them good luck.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I like that.
People will often spill some water behind a loved one who is about to go on a trip or a job interview in order to wish them luck.
That's awesome.
The water is thought to be lucky because it represents fluidity and motion.
That's awesome.
This is cool, okay?
That.
Right, you mentioned one earlier. You mentioned walking backwards. In Portugal, walking backwards, good luck or bad luck?
That's got to be bad luck. I feel like that's bad luck. It's like hell, Satan, demonic.
Mate, you've actually nailed it. It's considered very unlucky to walk backwards in Portugal because doing so allegedly lets the devil know where you are and where you're going.
I feel like that is a basic thing. Whenever you see like watch films and there's like a satanic possessed person, they're always like that scene in The Exorcist. Very famous, where she's coming down the stairs backwards in like a crab formation.
Yeah.
Everything about that is unnatural and walking backwards.
Yeah.
You know, like that's not normal.
No, you've nailed that, to be honest. Yeah, the Portuguese believe that walking backwards brings bad luck. So weird that you think that you shouldn't walk under the thing because that will bring bad luck, but you walk through it backwards, which if you did
double
that
bad luck
in Portugal,
it's a double negative.
Yeah, the devil
right?
will just come straight out of the ground and rape you like there and then.
Yeah, but I'm transported to another dimension.
Oh yeah,
like
true.
you said,
the
so
platform 9 3/4. I forget the Harry Potter law.
Yeah.
In Rwanda,
Okay, we're going.
women eating goat meat.
I feel like that's got to be bad luck. I feel like they've gone. I only said it because women. I feel like they're just gonna. No. I feel like they're gonna be like, not me. I feel like in Rwanda they're like, no, women no eat goat meat. That for men.
That
you
for
know?
men. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Local folklore advises women against eating goat meat because it allegedly causes facial hair growth as well as stubbornness.
So I think that was something that the men made up over there so that they could hog the goat meat for themselves.
Mate, you have you been reading this?
Wait, are you serious?
Seriously? Seriously, I'll read the next bit. Some people have also offered up the theory that men created the superstition so they could have more meat.
I was none of that.
Did you write this? I feel like you wrote this.
I made the law, bro.
That's so funny. By the way, I am just reading this off some random website online.
Yeah,
so if you're from Rwanda or you're from Serbia, tell us if this is bullshit, because I don't know. I'll believe anything. Russia, yellow flowers. Symbolism of good or symbolism of bad fortune?
I feel like yellow, just thinking of the colour,
Yes.
yellow's quite bright, but it's also used for like warnings.
Yes.
So I'm kind of conflict. I'm on the edge about this one.
It's a tough one.
I'm gonna go. I'm thinking about Russian culture now. I'm gonna go bad luck.
Gonna go bad.
Yeah, the reason behind it is for, like I said, it's like the exclamation mark. You know, I imagine a big yellow thing, and they're like flowers bad, or it could be something like they use to represent like a funeral or something like yellow flowers represent. You know, I don't know something. Yeah.
Honestly, dude, again, like nailed it. Very, very, like
Really?
you're showing your workings and I'm loving it. I'm giving you extra
Nice,
points.
man. Thank you.
Many people in Russia believe that yellow flowers symbolize separation, infidelity, or death. So people avoid giving them to their significant others.
That's so weird. People are going to think that we've set this up.
It's
Honestly, I've not.
No.
I didn't know. I was just kind of using
Yeah, no, you've shown your
the
working. This is good.
country. It's the country for me. When you've said like I'm thinking about, you know, Russian culture. I mean, I don't know much about it.
Of course, yeah.
But from what I do know,
Yeah.
I'm kind of putting the puzzle pieces
No,
together.
it works, and you're using your brain. I mean, this is the thing about superstitions as well. Some of it isn't logical, but I think there's logic that can be placed to everything that I just mentioned from around the world.
Yeah.
Because as we were talking about things like stepping on 3 drains brings bad luck, there's probably not so much logic there other than you've probably increased your risk of some of the drain collapsing, or you know what I mean, or someone trying to get out the drain at the same time. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles just trying to get up off the
and
street.
they can't.
Yeah, they can't.
And
'cause
now
you're on
you've
top.
ruined them saving someone's life.
Yeah, poor
'cause you
Michelangelo. Think about him.
Yeah.
But the walking under the ladder one, I think, is like, I think.
I mean, that's obvious, right?
Well, we all, like you've just done, we could go, oh, walking under a ladder brings bad luck. And it's probably actually more realistically, when you use your brain, like, it's just more likely that something bad will happen from you walking underneath the ladder.
Yeah.
You're like, surely?
A direct result. It's like, or if I throw a ball at your face, the direct result is not good luck or bad luck. It's that there's a ball in your face. If I walk under a ladder and some guy is at the top of the ladder with a can of paint,
Wouldn't be a problem for you,
paint.
though, would it?
What wouldn't?
A ball in your face?
This guy, man, he's got all the tricks. All the tricks, tiny dicks.
Sorry. I really tried to get that in there, but you just could not stop talking.
What did you want to get in there?
I just wanted to get in there like, that wouldn't bother you, would it? But I just couldn't.
I was on a roll.
You were on a
And you
roll.
just
Sorry.
interjected. Now you've
To
ruined
talk
my
about
flow.
Balls in your face.
Talk about balls in my face. Yeah.
What I will tell you is one of the superstitions, and we can
Is it
talk
about balls in your face?
It isn't,
Okay.
but we can talk about it actually because it sort of ties into our current band that we are in. I had a black cat cross my path today.
Did you? How did you feel about that?
Weird, but I don't know how this works. The cat had like white markings as well, so
Okay.
he had 2. You know how you see these cats that have got like, I call it, they've got white socks on.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it's like a
They've got
black
the
cat,
paws,
but
yeah.
like her front paws specifically were white. And I was like, I don't know if that counts.
I don't think that counts.
But it's weird that black cats have that symbolism as also being bad luck. And if one is to cross your path, this is considered really bad luck here in the UK.
Isn't that all to do with like witch lore or like?
Well, yeah. See, this is where it comes into with the band, because I'm sure we have discussed this already. We actually only got the sort of inspiration to be called the Witch Kids from playing Left 4 Dead for as many hours as we possibly could when we were so little, because we were so scared of the witch. But of course, black cats, as far as like sort of old folklore goes, is the witches could transfigure and transform themselves into black cats. Black cats were considered to be witches disguising so that they could be amongst people and get up to witchcraft shenanigans. But how strange that it's something that even now, I'm not a superstitious person, but that one, when I see a black cat, I think about witchcraft, honestly, and I think about witches, and I think about bad luck, because that is just symbolism in my brain anyway, is very I'm very alert to it without necessarily believing that things are going to bring me bad luck. But it's weird, isn't it?
I quite like all of that imagery though. This whole like gothic / witchiness vibes.
Halloween.
I would just live in Halloween. Yeah.
I just want to see bats everywhere and scary pumpkins and witches and
it's such like a basic bitch thing, isn't it? Like, oh my god, I'm into horror films, guys, and murder documentaries. Oh my god, but there's a reason we're drawn to that as humans. I think
it is weird though, isn't it?
Yeah,
because of course a lot of the superstitions around the world as well, not all of them, but a lot of them are talk about death and omens of death. And
interesting. I just remembered they have that Day of the Dead, don't they? What is that? Is that a Mexican thing or a Spanish thing? Or
to be honest, I really don't know so much of the history.
They do the candy. What do they call them?
Yeah, Dia de la Muerta. So it is literally the Day of the Dead.
Yeah.
And I believe that is. I believe the roots are Mexican, but I could be absolutely wrong. Someone needs to email and actually let us know. But yeah, it is a celebration, and this is always the celebration of Hallows Eve and then Halloween as well. Is the idea that the actual, you can sort of respect the spirits that, and you know,
because I feel like that was part of the story behind it, is that this superstitious thing where if they didn't celebrate or recognize the dead, then there was a chance that the dead could rise again and take revenge for not remembering. I feel like there's something along that line, which makes sense, right? If you're a superstitious person, you're like, well, there's millions of people buried in the ground here. We better just say hello, quick.
Yeah, just a quick hello.
Yeah, and then they won't come out the ground.
How do you do?
Top of the morning. And then that'll do.
What do you, trying to flip it now then, do you look at certain things and consider them good luck? Is there symbolism for you, of good luck? We mentioned it earlier about finding a penny on the street. If you find a penny, would you pick it up for the luck that you'd get?
I don't remember the last time I saw a penny on the floor, you know?
No, dude, I don't remember the last time I had a penny. I think if I'm honest, if someone tried to give me a penny, I think I'd throw it back in their mouth. I don't want a penny.
Why does it come out of their mouth? Why you say back in their mouth?
Yeah, maybe they spat it out into my hand.
A gift for you.
And they've regurgitated it into my
Wishing wells.
Wishing wells.
There
you go.
Seems to like be
the fountain. I've been to Trevi Fountain in Rome. I threw something in there, I think.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What was it? A turd.
Sorry, Italians. My bad. No, but you're right. There you go. So that's a symbolism of good luck. But is it something that you personally is it anything you believe in?
Not really,
No.
but I'll do it anyway, because what have you got to
harm?
lose?
Yeah, what's the harm?
Like, for me, I'm not superstitious, but, you know, if you're with someone who has a superstition and they're like, oh, no, don't tread on that, I'll be like, cool, I know that you find that bad luck, so I'll cater to you and I won't do that.
Yeah.
One of the other things, actually, I've just remembered is, have you been to Prague?
No.
So they've got a bridge in Prague where you go across and it's like a golden statue, and it's good luck to rub something part of this statue.
Yep.
And it's been rubbed so much that it has turned so shiny, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, I've done that every time I've been to Prague. I've been like 2 or 3 times.
That's cool.
You walk along, you just give it a little rub.
I think the thing about it is there's something strange about this. As I say, for me, it's all symbolism. It's all symbolic of the idea of bringing good fortune. And, you know, I don't consider myself to be a superstitious person, but the symbols of good fortune, I just think it just fills me with a joy that I can't really explain, or the idea that there's such a strong belief in this power of whatever that thing in Prague is, as an example, and giving it, you know, it's the same as when we were, I'm going to get this wrong now. So in Milan, we went to somewhere in Milan, and it's meant to be, it's like a big sort of shopping centre, and it's a similar thing. There's a place right in the centre of it on the ground where you're meant to sort of spin counterclockwise 3 times or something on it.
Right.
And you're meant to be on your heel, and there's these like little rules and stuff, but people are queuing up all day to do it because it is meant to bring good fortune. And I remember being there, and I remember just being like, this is amazing. It's amazing that people have come from all over the world to do this because they think that it's meant to bring good fortune. And to be honest, I'm saying it's meant to bring good fortune. There's probably that's probably too broad a thing to say. There's probably some things meant to bring prosperity of something. Not that I remember, but I just think that's amazing that people would travel to other areas of the world to see these things and partake in that ritual that so many people believe in. The power of that, if it doesn't have any magical luck that the universe gives you, but just the power that people believe that it can, and they do that, I think that's amazing. That's the amazing thing about it.
And it's like people joining together as like one, right? Like, I'm sure that thing in Prague started because of maybe something religious. It was like good luck to touch the head or the something of a symbol, right? And then it quickly spread into other countries, and they were like, well, when I visit, I should pay my respects by doing the same thing, and then it brings them good luck and all this sort of stuff. So
what do you think there's anything that, if you were feeling a bit naughty, is there anything that you think you would come up with, like right now, that you would just start, like almost like a rumor at school, that would bring some good luck to people that did it? What could you...
like a good luck ritual.
Yeah, what do you think you could make up? You could convince people, oh yeah, that's lucky. That's good luck. Because like the old Rwandan men saying, you know, if we just tell the women...
Yeah, like to your benefit.
That goats are going to give them big old goatee beard, right? They'll stop eating it and we can have fuck tons of goat. And I'll be honest, I'm hungry for goat. Like, what do you think we could do? That we could tell people like, oh yeah, that's good luck.
Oh, what is good? What? Oh.
Or bad luck, I guess.
Yeah. I don't really know. That's a really good question. Is there something that you've got? Because
no, I mean I was genuinely trying to think of something as I was even explaining it, but I'm sure some of this just comes out of absolutely nowhere. Some of it. So like the whole, when someone gets pooed on by a bird, people say, oh, that's meant to be good luck, because they're staring at someone that obviously is covered in bird shit, and they're like, let's not make them feel bad. Let's try and make them feel better. Oh, it's good luck, by the way. Yeah, it's good luck.
Yeah. Oh, you've been shat on. That's really good luck.
That's really good luck, actually.
But it ain't, because I've got shit on me.
Yeah, there's actual feces on my upper lip, bro.
It's in my eye. I got splash damage in my eye.
No, I wonder if we could come up with one. That could be fun.
Yeah, we could do.
But I do love the, as I say, not necessarily a superstitious person. Although, I'll be really honest with you, and I'll say this on camera. I do have one thing that I always do, and I've got no reason why. It doesn't happen all the time in my life, but it's something that I take seriously. Okay. This is me just being really honest.
Yeah.
When I'm getting on a plane, I kiss the plane.
Now, when you say kiss, like you actually, or you go like hand?
Yes, I'm not putting my actual lips to the plane.
Okay.
But I do, as we're boarding and we get to the plane, I just give myself a little and then I give the plane a little pat, like
Tap, yeah.
you can do it.
Love tap. Yeah.
Come on, do it for me, do it for money.
Yeah, that's nice, man.
And then when I get off the plane, I give another little kiss, like thank you, and give him a little pat on his bottom.
That's
you.
nice, man. I like that.
And it's to the point where like Chloe will say to me, "You gonna kiss the plane?" Like, I'm gonna kiss the plane, yeah. Because if I don't, we're plummeting to our fucking deaths.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's the thing, isn't it? Now you've started that.
I know. Bro. That's the thing.
Yeah. Because what if something did go wrong on the one time that you didn't? Not to say like. I know I'm not talking like catastrophic, like you died, but like let's say, I don't know, you had one of the wheels, the landing gear, just set alight. Yeah. And you were like, whoa.
Or you just get stuck on the runway because of
for like 2 hours.
Or something like that. Yeah.
It's like, I didn't kiss the plane, that's why.
Or imagine that though, if you're like, we're going down and the captain was like, brace, and everyone's got their like, we've all got our heads down between our legs, and I turned to Chloe and said, oh no, I should have kissed the plane. She's like, I love you. What are your last words to me?
I should have kissed the plane.
I should have kissed the plane.
I love that.
Well, I don't know why I do it. I just do it. But this is the other thing. So you're not necessarily a sporty person, but you understand that certain fans have rituals for their game day. Yeah. So for example, I know loads of people who, if it's game day, if they're going to the game or they're watching the game or whatever, they want to wear their team's colours. I know people that like only eat certain foods because it's like a ritual. They believe that will bring good fortune to the team.
That's funny.
And it's so mad because I think anyway, you'd consider yourself a not superstitious person, but if you're a fan of a sports team, if I were like, oh, okay, but your team plays Chelsea today as an example, so you're going to wear blue? No, I'm not fucking wearing blue, am I? That's their colours. It's bad luck, bad omen, or that sort of thing. You are people believe that things like that are going to tempt fate. Yeah.
So when I was a wee boy, my uncle had a season ticket to Spurs. Mm-hmm. And that is, if I'm ever asked now or like when I was younger, Spurs was my team of choice, right? Yeah. I don't really follow football, but because my uncle had a season ticket and he used to go on about it all the time, Spurs, cool. Now, the person who he used to go with, if they couldn't make it and I was about, he would take me.
Yeah.
So we used to go, but then it became a thing where he wouldn't want to take me.
Oh.
You know why?
Because they lost when you came?
Every single game that I went to, lost.
You were bad luck.
And now, even
he won't talk to you.
And now, even to this day, when I watch football, I say they're going to lose because I'm watching.
Because you're watching.
Yeah. Not even Spurs, just like if England are playing. Yeah. I go, whenever I watch sports and I want someone to win or I'm rooting for someone.
Yeah.
The other person wins.
Taking it away from sport, even if someone's going for like a job interview, they're like, "Do you have lucky underwear?"
That's so weird. I was about to say that. I do actually have lucky underwear.
See, there you go.
But like,
why?
I don't know.
Why are they lucky?
I think it makes you feel good.
Yeah, but why are they lucky? You can't just call them lucky underwear. Something must have happened to. I mean. You know what I'm saying? They've got to earn the stripe. They've got to earn the mantle of, well, this is my lucky underwear because this is the underwear I was wearing when I was a wee kid, and I got hit like you got hit by so many separate vehicles when you were younger, and you survived.
That's not true. I was not hit by so many separate vehicles
on separate occasions. Yeah. But see, if the underwear you were wearing then it saved your life, I'd be like, oh yeah, cool, that's your lucky underwear.
Yeah, but was it bad luck? Because I got hit to begin with. Oh, you know what I mean? Like, there's all these weird spins you can put on stuff like that. I feel
Ask me if I've got lucky underwear.
Have you got lucky underwear?
I don't wear underwear.
You don't.
I'm not wearing any pants right now, boy.
He likes to get that in every bloody episode. This geezer.
Yeah, but that's the thing, isn't it? We've all got like lucky garments. If you're going on a job for a job interview, if you want good luck, there might be something that someone tells you to do, or wear this.
Break a leg.
Yeah.
What is that?
Mad, isn't it? I don't know where that comes from.
Break a leg?
Yeah, I don't know where that comes from.
It's like for actors, right? That people say it before getting on stage and stuff.
Yeah, I assume so. But as I say, I don't understand where that mantra comes from. Yeah. I don't know what it means. But so maybe we've sort of morphed our conversation on superstitions a little bit. But I still think, as I say, this symbolism of bad luck and good fortune, bad fortune and stuff like that, I think it's an interesting part of human psyche.
Do you think you are a lucky person?
Like as somebody that brings good luck to a situation, I don't have any. There's no evidence to say that I can consider myself a lucky person.
So
I
are
consider
you
myself.
talking about that, like you bringing good luck, and also you being a lucky person, you receiving the good luck as well? Like, do you feel that way, or?
Well, I don't think I've had bad luck. I don't think that my life is a never-ending spiral of missed opportunity and stuff like that. I feel quite content with my life and feel way luckier than probably most ever feel. So I don't feel like there's bad energy around me. But to say like, are you a lucky person? Like, I've never won a raffle.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, how do you measure it? I won at bingo once.
Yeah. How much you win?
Like 30 quid.
Oh, so some people would think that was lucky.
Yeah, maybe.
But again,
well, have you ever won a competition? Have you ever won anything on the radio? Have you ever?
Yeah,
like, how do you?
I think I told this story before when I won something on the radio when I was a little boy, but that wasn't really luck.
No?
That was me ringing up at a certain time to answer a question that
Yeah, but you got
it was a
through.
challenge. Oh, yeah, I guess.
You got through more than there must have been 1,000 people waiting.
Yeah, true.
And you won it.
Yeah.
So are you a lucky person or?
Yeah, how do you measure that?
Is that enough? I mean, as I said, you've been hit by several different vehicles in your lifetime and lived to tell the tale.
I'm still alive, yeah.
Are you lucky?
I guess so.
You considered yourself that lucky that one time.
Yeah, that one time I do consider myself lucky.
But again, this is human psyche, man. This is us putting value into whether it's an object or whether it's a ritual or acknowledging that something insane that's happened in our lifetime that you then look back on and go, someone that was less lucky or someone that was less fortunate, maybe that wouldn't have come out the way that it was.
Yeah.
And maybe if a situation is to play out 9 times out of 10, maybe your car, maybe you wouldn't be here doing this pod. Me and Denny doing the pod now. Like, it's.
I feel like you make, to a certain extent anyway, you make your own luck.
Yeah.
I feel you have to put yourself in certain situations to expose yourself to a good or bad luck situation.
Yeah.
Like if I walk home one night and I'm wearing a £500,000 gold chain through a dark alley in a rough neighborhood, is it bad luck that I get robbed?
Or were you statistically
correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
But then luck is a numbers game, right?
Yeah.
If you look at it that way, that is still luck.
Well, chance and fortune, yeah. Like, as I said, I'm not somebody that gambles. How funny this conversation has come back to like what we talk about with gambling.
I was thinking of like the lottery.
Yeah, the lottery. Like ultimately, that's you gambling. That's you gambling away whatever it costs now, £2 or whatever, with the idea that the risk. It's so statistically unlikely that you win it, but someone's gonna win it.
Yeah,
statistically,
that could be you.
Exactly. Statistically, it's most likely to not be you, but statistically, someone will be the winner, and you're going to win incredible money that you can never dream of.
Have you seen that picture of the two miners like digging through a hole? It's like
yes,
and it's like and it says don't give up.
Yeah.
99% of gamblers give up before they make big money.
Yeah,
and it does make me laugh every time, man, because to have that mental, you've got to be on something. I just don't know, man. I saw one today where it was obviously a joke, but it was like a series of pictures of some guy like holding like a camera up to his face, and he went, just sold my stove for $200 so I could pay this month's rent. I'm still $100 short. Then it cuts to another picture and he's like, I've got an idea, and then he gambles it, and then he shows a screenshot of him losing the money, like he's in negative again, and he goes, oh no, now I'm fucked. And then he's like, wait, the neighbours are on holiday, and then he steals the copper from their house, and then he sells that, and then he gambles it again, and then it goes on for like 2 minutes, like this really roller coaster journey of him like getting money that he could pay his rent all along, and then he just loses it on gambling. But then the last one, he makes like 100 grand back, and he's like, whoever tells you to stop gambling is an idiot. It's like that whole thing.
Mad.
And it just
I don't want to advocate gambling.
no, I think that's the funny thing side of it, right? It's like you've got to be really naive to think that you can gamble and become rich just from gambling.
But like going back to what you said, like to an extent, that mantra of fortune favors the brave.
Yeah.
yeah, like you've got to be in it to win it, sort of thing. Like you've got to push yourself. You've got to, if you're outside of a comfort zone, yeah, okay, like everything that you've been uncomfortable about, yeah, that's probably going to happen. But equally, there's something for you to gain out of it.
Yeah.
And, something like taking a chance on, I don't know, whatever it would be, like taking a chance on, like, should I go unemployed or, and not unemployed, but like, should I start my own business as an example, leave this job and move to another job? Should I get out of this relationship that I'm not happy with the idea that there's another one waiting for me? Like, these are acts of bravery. I don't necessarily think it comes down to like lucky, like you hear people, say about relationships and people that they know and being like, yeah, they're unlucky with women or they're unlucky with men or whatever. I don't know. Things like that. I sort of think, well, you probably to an extent make your own luck.
And I also think people use it as an excuse for negative things. But then it can also diminish some of the good things that people have done.
Oh, hell yeah.
Like if you achieve something really big and someone says, that's really lucky that you've done that.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't fucking luck, man.
Yeah.
I worked for it. I did all of this stuff, So it's a weird one, right?
Yeah.
You have to be a little bit careful with what you count as luck.
Yeah.
I think if it is out of your control, fine. But a lot of things, actually, I think you have way more control over than you think.
Well, that's the other thing, isn't it? When we talk about, and I've probably said this as well, that I don't necessarily believe in fate. Yeah, I just don't know. What you just said resonates with me so strongly that we're in way more control than we'd like to think.
Yep.
It's very easy when like chips are down and things like that to be like,
I've got bad luck.
Yeah, it's just bad luck, and there's always a plan, and all that kind of thing. Yeah, fine, but also you have to believe that you've got to put some effort in for those for it to turn.
What is
the corner.
that saying where it's like you miss 100% of the shots you don't take?
Yeah.
Like you've got to live like that, man. I think not to be like a positivity podcast,
yeah.
But it is kind of a bit like that.
Yeah.
If you don't do the thing, you'll never know whether or not you were going to be lucky at it or not.
Yeah.
Maybe not gambling.
Maybe not. Yeah.
But there's risks that you can take, and sometimes you'll come out the other side. And I think it's easy to go, oh, it was just bad luck. No, man, it was an experience that you had that it didn't work out for you.
Yeah.
Move on to the next thing, man.
Well, and I don't want it to be like we're just chatting about sport either, but you find often in the sports, because I that I love sports.
Yeah.
All sorts of different sports that I watch. The margins are always so thin.
Yeah.
When you're at the highest level of whatever, it doesn't even have to be like a very athletic sport or whatever, but when you're at the highest level of these things and you've got two people competing, it does feel like sometimes you can see the absolute gulf in experience, in just overall charisma, talent level, application.
Yeah, they've dedicated themselves to that.
You can sometimes see it, but when you're at the highest level of whatever it be, the margins are so thin. Now, is some of that luck? I don't know. Did it, it was literally, 1 inch the other side of the post and whatever, if that defender was 1 inch quicker, I don't know.
But I mean, you're comparing it to sports because it's what you know. And if I compare it to some of the things that I know, like, esports, like playing video games professionally, or music, like producing music, an example I'd give you is the guy who produced a lot of songs for Juice WRLD, Nick Mira, right? He was just a guy that was sending Juice WRLD and uploading tracks to SoundCloud, and he got discovered that way. Same with like a lot of people who produce for like big artists like Post Malone and stuff. But I think they had the drive and determination to want to promote what they've got there. Same with esports, right? They had the drive and determination to become so good at a game and dedicate their time. They invested, and this is the point, right? You don't have to invest money in everything that you do. If you just invest the time, everything else, if you're willing to learn, if you're willing to have an experience, good or bad, then I think you're better than just sitting there doing nothing, man.
Well, you brought up music, and it's an interesting one for us because, of course, when we were younger, we were in a band called Governor's Luck. We have already sort of referenced them today, but we at that point in our sort of musical lives, we would have felt back then insanely lucky.
Yeah.
For every good thing that was happening for us, because we were working with a management company, we had some investment behind us, and we were given opportunities that musicians will live all their life and never, they'll never live the experiences that we had. So I would have probably looked back, 10 years ago and gone, God, we were so lucky. But then often were we feeling like, man, we just need the right person at the right gig to see us do our thing. And does that come down to luck?
But before that, man, we were gigging like every week. We used to meet up 3 times a week. It's not like we had that stuff handed to us on a plate.
But that's my point.
But I never want to sound ungrateful for it. Like, I'm grateful for all of that experience, but I feel like it'd be doing a disservice to say that it was luck.
But my point is that we knew that to be that lucky, to have that one person in that room for us playing that song, and they come into it. Well, we knew that we had to. Well, let's put the odds in our favor.
Yeah,
you've got to go out and play the gigs.
Yep.
Let's go here. Let's go there. I don't care if we're playing at 1 a.m. I don't care if we're playing at 8 p.m. Like, we were doing everything that we could to be discovered. And again, I think it gets talked about a lot, especially with bands, and the bands that came through and the bands that we loved as kids. To an extent, there was probably, a dozen other bands that could have been the ones that got in front of us.
This is going to sound really stupid because it's so bloody obvious, but I'm so far, and I don't know if you feel the same, I'm so far removed from the name that I've just clocked actually what our name is, bro. Governor's Luck. Yep. I don't know how we came up with that name, what the story is behind it, but yeah.
The truth is, I think I heard the terminology Governor's Luck somewhere. I can't tell you where. It was so many years ago, but it will have been in some on some TV program or film that I'd watched back then. But the idea being that as the governor, and if you remember, governor was like a word that we were very we were very attached to. It felt very British. Yeah. But you think of the governor and you think of someone in charge. Well, Governor's Luck, the idea that, well, you've bent that luck. You're in charge.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
You're in charge. The luck.
That makes sense. Yeah.
The luck is as we've manipulated it. That's what I believe. But honestly, dude, I could not. I mean, how old were we when we first?
We were like 19.
Yeah, we were young. So I can't remember where I heard it, but I believe I heard it. I know that Governors was just a word that we had really clung to.
Yeah. No one could spell it though.
No one can spell it now, dude. I can't spell it now. My brother was like, is the Governor's Luck stuff still on Spotify? I was
trying to type it.
I was like, yeah, dude, what are you talking about? I can't find it. It's like, you don't know how to spell governor, that's why.
We had like governor, Guvna.
Yeah.
We had grooveners. Do you remember that?
Yeah, people couldn't put it.
People
couldn't put it on their on the flyers.
Billboards.
For the No wonder we didn't get anywhere.
That's it, man.
Yeah, it was never on the posters. That's so funny.
Oh man. Do you in summary? Mm-hmm. Do you think that you can do anything to bend luck or superstition or fate? Like, do you think you can? Because you've got fate, right? Mm-hmm. Oh, it happened. It was fate. Mm-hmm. But do you think you can control any of that?
So it becomes a conversation of faith, which I talked about last week. I'm in a very weird place with my relationship with faith. It is complicated for me right now. It's me being honest.
Yeah. So is she?
What?
Who's Faith?
Who's Faith?
Yeah.
She's a darling. So I don't really know. I've not thought everything through in my mind to be so clear in myself.
Yeah.
That I'm happy making statements that I would have to make about faith. The only thing that I'll say is, and I think probably this is relatable, think back to a relationship you were in where you were like, you would have felt so content in that relationship that you were like, well, that's it. And maybe at that time you would have thought, fate brought us together. That whole thing, right?
Yeah.
Are you in it now? Nah.
Yeah, it's a weird.
We've all had that. Listen, actually, I'm saying we all have. I'm making very broad statements here. I think people could think about their first love and go, well, yeah, this is it. This is fate. It must have been this way that I just met her at this bar, or he just bumped into me in the street, or he thought I was somebody else and like called for me and then it was me. And then, you know, all of these kind of meet cute stories that become whatever. And then obviously there's like a magical thing that happens where you think, well, this is the universe telling me you're meant to be with this person, and how many of them
I think
survive?
Much like everything, luck, and whether or not you believe or disbelieve in superstitions, fate, all of that stuff, I think it's really just down to a state of mind.
Yes.
Like, when you were talking to me about it, I was like, oh yeah, in that moment you felt like that.
Yeah.
But you can reflect on that and be like, oh, I know why I felt that way.
Yeah.
But does that mean you should chase those experiences?
Well, I can understand why they happen. I can understand why those what seem like insignificant acts of randomness or whatever, I can understand when people are in a particular state of mind or area in their life
how they're susceptible to it.
It feels like there's more at play in this idea of fate.
Yeah.
It's what I'm dealing with now. You know, my son will be born
imminently
in a matter of days, and I did talk about it a lot last pod, so I won't go on about it, but it does make me question all the random things that happened in my life to get me to this point here.
Yeah.
I'm assuming that I'm having all of these thoughts and thinking back all of this because I'm hitting like a monumental part in my
of course, man.
in my adulthood.
But
right?
I think that's really important to reflect and not just say I'm lucky. I feel like that's a bit of a cop-out ideology.
I know. See, that's
right?
I do completely understand, but then I'm also like, but is it all just acts of randomness, that got me here then? Is that all it is? Is it just random bullshit nonsense?
But it's not random because you had choices to make. The butterfly effect, bro. You made a tiny choice that had a knock-on impact, whether or not you know it, when you were 1 year old, man. Everything that you've done led up to this point. Could it have been different? Of course it could, man.
Yeah.
Like you said earlier, if that car crash I had when I was younger, if it killed me off or broke my legs or I had to have a leg amputated, I wouldn't be in the band. I wouldn't have met you. We wouldn't have done all these awesome things. But would you have still had similar experiences just without certain people in your life? Maybe,
yeah,
but who knows, man?
Yeah, I don't know. We've already said it. You sort of like fortune favors the brave a wee bit, and you've got to be brave in certain situations and make those decisions. But I don't know if fate is doing all of it for you. I don't have a clue. Whatever you believe in is what you believe.
Yep.
And on the most part, I believe in live and let live. Just do what you need. Be happy. So I personally don't know. I don't know if I believe in someone being more lucky than anybody else. I don't know if these acts of, or like superstition things to ward off bad spirits and bad feelings and bad omens and things like that. I don't know. All I know is that I kissed the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mate, and you should carry on doing that.
Yeah. I don't know why.
Until you have an experience that says I'm not kissing the plane anymore because of X.
Yeah. Well, I mean, what do you think? What do you feel? We've said that we've both said that we probably have more control in our lives than we would like to think.
I feel like if you deep it too much, it can become like this existential thing that looms over you too much, right? I'm not a big thinker anyway. Right. Like I'm not, and I obviously
I don't believe that as a statement. If I can just be honest with you, I don't believe in that as a bold statement. As someone that's known you a long time, I wouldn't say that you're not a deep thinker.
Yeah, maybe that's the wrong wording. I try not to look too deep into things where I don't need to.
I might be wrong. I'm sorry. I wouldn't be sat here trying to tell you
that's fair.
This is what you are.
No. You're saying from an outside perspective.
Yeah. No, I think
I think in certain times there has been, of course, if I need to think really deeply about it. But I'm a firm believer of like, well, the things that I have no control over, I should try not to worry about.
Oh, for sure.
And there's certain people that, there's things going on in our lives, my life at the moment, where I have no control over that. I can do one or two things. I can either worry, be upset, I can, make my life worse for it, or I can recognize that and be like, that's a thing that's happening. Don't let it destroy everything else.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's really important to recognize, because if you live your life letting this ball here, this bad ball, become bigger than the rest of what you've got going on, it's like a cloud, man.
Yeah.
And
yeah, it's gonna end up literally Atlas holding the globe on his on his back.
Yep.
Like, yeah, it's a mad.
So
yeah, I believe very, very strongly in that. Something that I've had to get good at as I've got older. That don't sweat the small stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like. Every detail of everything I did want to control. I wanted to analyze. I'm constantly trying to work out. These are all the options in front of me, which is I'm just constantly risk assessing everything.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to calculate what's the less risk and what makes the most sense and stuff like that. But I had to get really good at making the decision in the moment, and then as time went on and things happened,
you assess it.
Yeah, but I had to get really good at going, yeah, but I've got, in hindsight, it's not helpful. I just had to trust in myself as a person back then, even when I was making decisions age 14, 17. We've talked about this before. You've got to pick what you want to do for GCSEs at the age of 13. Yeah. What you do for GCSEs then will most likely inform you as to what you're going to do for higher education, further education, higher education, then potentially for the rest of your career.
Yeah.
But you've made that decision here. I just have to trust. Back then was when I was making decisions that I did it because at the time it was the best train of thought I had.
Yep.
For the situation that I was in then, and I can go back and wish this and wish that, but I try not to. And most importantly, don't sweat that small stuff.
That's what I was going to say, is that life is actually more forgiving, I think, than not to get too deep, but it is. Like, the older I've got, the more I've been like, I made a mistake. But if you're able to recognize that and be like, right, what can I do to either fix that mistake or be a better person because of it, or, turn that situation around rather than going, looming in the dread of that mistake, then I think you actually become a better person for it.
Yeah.
I just think the world's more again, going back to superstitions, maybe to bring it back to where we started, that's like, oh, you forgot to kiss the plane. But actually, you can forgive yourself for not doing that, because in that moment, you know why you didn't kiss the plane.
Yeah.
And you're okay.
Yeah.
You are okay. You came off the plane.
Or I look at it and just go, well, that was an anomaly in life, because every other time I know I've kissed the plane.
Yep.
And because I've kissed the plane every time, it's the world's gone, don't worry, Manny.
Yeah. And you know what? You might not kiss that plane one time. Nothing bad happened. Yep. And you'll go, but you'll still kiss the plane.
Next time.
Because there is no harm in kissing the plane.
Yeah.
In short, kiss the plane.
Kiss the plane. Just kiss the plane. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't have to. If it makes you feel good, just do it.
And we're talking not necessarily about physically kissing the plane. I'm talking like comparing it to Manny's thing. If you're doing something because you think it brings you good fortune, do it, man.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone tell you otherwise that it's weird, man.
Yeah. Yeah. Wear your lucky pants, mate.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not lucky, but yeah.
How do you know?
Have you ever shit yourself in them?
No, not my lucky pants.
Not in your lucky pants. Do you ever get willy dribble though?
Thanks for watching, guys. Sour Cherries podcast. We'll see you on episode 14. Maybe what can we do for 14? Superstitions is 13. 14 is, I feel like 14, Valentine's. We could talk about
Oh, you want to talk about love?
We could talk about love.
You want to talk about shagging?
No, not love as in, it doesn't have to be that literal, but the things we love.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah?
I'm up for that.
Wholesome.
Yeah. All right then, episode 14, all about love. Cool.
Thanks for watching.
Podcast. See you later, mate.
You've been Manny. I've been Ben.
Yeah, I've been Manny. You have, though, had willy dribble, though. We're not all great at going to the toilet. It's fine.
You ever had willy crust?
Willy crust?
Yeah, you have a wank, and then you're done with the wank.
Yeah.
Like, you clean up. You're like, I'm clean now.
Yeah.
And then you put your knob away. You go about your day. Suddenly you're like, what? I've got crust.
Well, I think that's because you might have had willy dribble and maybe not realise that you've had.
What
willy
is
dribble.
willy dribble?
Well, so okay. To be perfectly honest, I was talking about piss.
Yeah, no, I'm talking about like.
No, okay, you're talking about something else.
Yeah.
I can't talk to you about penis crust.
Okay.
But
Well, thanks, man.
Well, I've got foreskin.
Okay.
You know. but talking about actual willy dribble, I have got to that stage in my life where I go for a wee, yeah, and then if I've not shaken it off properly, maybe I'm in a public toilet. I can't just stand there for 5 minutes, just you know, just taking the end of piss out of my willy. But I've got to that stage in my life where if I pull my trousers up too early, I am going to have willy dribble in the next however long. Well, I'm trying to talk to you.